President Trump is now the first sitting president to set foot in North Korea. A historic moment on a day of diplomacy. And joining me this morning to talk about this weekend's meeting with North Korea is Dr. Laura Luhrmann from Wright State University. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This was certainly an interesting scene to play out when President Trump shook hands with Kim Jong-un at the border, then stepped right into North Korea. So how did this whole thing come to fruition in the begin with?
Well, it's been building for a couple of months, and especially the last couple of weeks. There was the letter that Kim Jong-un sent to President Trump on the anniversary of the Singapore summit, and President Trump praised that letter, said it was a beautiful letter. Trump reciprocated with the letter. Then President Trump was in Asia because of the G20 meeting in Osaka, Japan. We knew that he was going to be going to South Korea. He wanted to go to the DMZ. Then there was a tweet Saturday night, ostensibly aimed at Kim Jong-un, saying, why don't we meet, have a handshake, and possibly say hello? And then things started, the wheels started in motion. Tweet diplomacy. Now, when will we see some real diplomacy in those two meeting again to talk about the denuclearization deal that many people have still on their minds? That's the thing. This is optics over substance. The positive is that they did announce that this is going to jumpstart some of the working level meetings that have been absolutely in a lull since the collapse of the Hanoi summit in February. So these working level meetings are going to start taking place. We don't need to see the two principles. We need to have behind the scenes work about real discussions. What does denuclearization mean? We still haven't arrived at an understanding of that. So if this helps jumpstart that, that's going to be great. Right now, this is complete public relations. This is optics. It might actually bring some progress if it's going to jumpstart those talks, but right now, this is definitely lacking any substance. Do you think the optics help, I guess, build confidence from other nations when it comes to a possible, deal with North Korea, considering North Korea has been so unpredictable for so many decades? They have been unpredictable, and I think it probably does build a little bit of confidence, at least that some discussions are taking place. The rhetoric is now, again, tempering down rather than ratcheting up. At the end of the day, a photo op is better than a nuclear test, so we're going to take that. There was some praise internationally, including Pope Francis said this is all about the importance of encounter. So if this helps jumpstart something, then there's going to be optimism. But this is the third time that the two leaders have met in just over a year, and we're nowhere closer to North Korea actually denuclearizing. If anything, maybe the goalposts have switched a little bit, and we're now closer to accepting the fact that North Korea is a nuclear state.
Now, real quick, how's this being received back at home?
I would say with very mixed results. As we get closer to the 2020 presidential elections, it's going to be interesting. Very partisan way, and there were some very strong statements, particularly from some of the Democratic candidates over the weekend. It was received well in Asia. North Korea actually splashed it all over their media in the morning. Locally, I think there's a lot of substance, or a lot of concern about whether or not this is going to be followed up with something meaningful.
All right, Laura, thank you so much for helping us understand this morning, and thank you for always coming on and providing some valuable insight.